Hi, everybody. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day. So, this is the story of a reading that has taken, excuse me, almost a week to do because for whatever reason, something kept coming up. Fire sirens, people knocking on my door, emergencies, things like that. And so we're going to try this again and see if this works. But before I do so, welcome to my channel. This is a Light Heart channel. Actually, it's a Light Heart tarot. As you can see, today is starting off very off, but it's a good off. It's fine. My name is Val, and welcome. And for those who have been with me, welcome back. This channel does readings on different kinds, on love, career, what your spirit guides want to tell you. However, ever since I did my first reading from Messages from Spirit, meaning those who have passed over on the other side, mediumship readings, it seems that this has become a platform that Spirit wants to use to share those messages. And I think the reason why it's such a it's becoming a preferred platform is because of the accessibility with it. So this video may drop into someone's news feed, someone may share it. It will find its way to whoever it needs to get to, and it's a perfect way for those in spirit to share their messages of love, and just messages of comfort to those here on living on in the physical world. And I think that is why ever since I did the last reading, I've been getting pulsings to keep doing, to do another reading. And that's what happened. So I was trying to do a reading for a love reading on what does your partner think of you. And I just kept getting a tug that was saying, can you do that reading after you do this reading? So and so I started pulling out the cards. These are the cards that came out, but as I said, for whatever reason, every time I went to record it, something just kept happening. And so that is why I'm doing this recording today. So I'm assuming whoever needs to hear it, it was supposed to come out today for a reason. Just to give a little bit of background on this particular reading. So the reading before this was a group message that I did, Messages from Spirit, and for whatever reason, this particular energy did not want to be a part of that last reading. And so when this energy came to me, it kept saying, my name is Darryl, and can you please do a reading for me? And so here we are. And just as confirmation, when I did the pulling out of the initials in my bag, the letter D and P came up. So I don't know. So D confirms the Darryl to me, but I don't know if P is the last name for Darryl or if P is the first letter initial of the person that this is meant for. So if this resonates for you somehow, please take that. And if your person is not named Darryl at all, I still feel that there are messages that come through that you're supposed to hear regardless. So even though this message is coming from Darryl to their person, there may be symbols, signs, things that you'll hear me say that you'll be like, oh, my grandfather used to say that, or my friend used to say that. So just know that even though this reading was sparked by one particular energy, there may be something that is for the collective. So feel free to continue to listen, even if you do not have a Darryl. So let's get started. Okay, so the first 4 cards that have come up are the Hierophant, the Lovers, 2 of Cups, and Ace of Wands. And so here we have with this combination, we have a marriage that was filled when it was rooted in the physical. And just know that love never dies, and so that love still is still present, is still there. But just know that I'm talking about what has happened during the physical life. During the physical, this was a very passionate, this was a very deep and magnetic love between Darryl and their person. And I'm going to use him because I do feel that in this lifetime, although Darryl could be, either a boy or a girl, I am feeling that this is a male energy, just because many of the cards here and the questions that I asked are coming up as male energy. This was a beautiful, in the physical, it was a beautiful relationship. And as I said, a very passionate relationship and a very committed marriage as well. I'm feeling that this is one of those relationships in which people looked at it and you had people who said, I wish I could aspire to that. And alternatively, you also had people that may have felt jealousy because they wished they had that. So it was, what I'm hearing is, whenever you see me, you see her. So there was never a time in which the 2 of you were apart for very long. The 2 of you were always connected. The 2 of you were always going out together. And even when it was just simple things, there was just so much love that exuded from this relationship. So much fire, so much passion. I'm seeing an image of him when you would go out to the store, where he would just I'm getting an image of you all in the supermarket, and you would be by the melons section. This is a funny one. And he would come behind you and grab your bottom just to squeeze it. And there would be, and he would say something like, I'm just checking if it's ripe. and so it's just that playfulness, that flirtatiousness. This is what your relationship was. And it was very, very rooted and very, very grounded. And he loves you so much, so much. As I said, it was very rooted, very grounded, but you did have people who may have looked at it. And, as I said, some people looked at it in a healthy admiration, and some of the people may have looked at it in this like a jealousy feeling. And so, and you all were both aware of it, but at the same time, it didn't matter. I'm also seeing, based from the cards here, this was a person who was a protector. So the bear energy is an energy that is the protector of the family, protector of the home, protector of unions. So as many people looked up to him, he was fiercely protective. If someone came towards you, you can rest assured that he had your back all the time. And he was also someone who was a great provider. So someone who had their finances in order and had a business that was, or was in a career that was very successful. So we see here with the two cards, the Six of Wands, and we also see the Park here. And this is, about being seen, about being recognized. And so I see, along with the Pentacles here, we have someone who is very successful in what they did. They were a leader. I'm seeing an executive level person, and also someone who had a team under him. So people looked up to him, people came to him for advice. This was a person who had a lot of self-confidence, had somewhat, the word that I want to say is swagger about him. So there was a swagger about him that people just respected and people admired. So I just wanted to bring that up. And again, as I said, everyone who saw the two of you, whenever you saw him, when people saw him, they saw you too. So I'm seeing in his office, there would be pictures of you. I'm not receiving images of children, but there would definitely be pictures of you. I also want to add, oddly enough, that this person, while they were a dynamic personality, they were very quiet. So they didn't speak unless there was something to say. And I can easily tell that because when I kept trying to pull the cards and I was asking questions, it was hard for me to get any answers. And so I went through probably 15 decks and I'm pulling cards, and it was just like, it felt like, okay. It was like, and the cards would stick and he would be like, nope, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about that. But it was quite interesting trying to get him to speak about himself. But he had a lot to say about his relationship and how much passion and love, deep love, that he has for you. So the Thoth card came out when I was trying to find out more on who he was. And so I was asking, are you in media? Are you a writer? And he wouldn't say. However, the Thoth card is about the God of wisdom. So Thoth or Thoth, however you want to pronounce his name, he was a god that was someone who is also very charismatic, someone who was the inventor of writing and of math and of all of these beautiful different disciplines that we do today. But very stoic, very strong. And I think that was really what Darryl was trying to get to me, was that not about what he did in life, but just his personality. He was a pillar. He was the protector, the bear. He was the one that if you came to him, you knew that he had your back. Very just a stoic and quiet but strong figure. And as I was pulling out this card, it reminded me of my grandfather, and I think that's why the image was brought up, to give me an understanding. My grandfather was someone who rarely spoke. The only time that we talked was if we were watching his favorite Mets game, and he would talk about baseball and would show me about the ways of the sport and about good sportsmanship and how to be a good person. And so you knew that when he did speak, he was going to tell you something that came from his heart, something that he loved, in sharing that part of himself with, those that he loved. And this is the same. Holds a lot of love, a lot of passion, holds a lot of just deep emotion. And sometimes that may not have always shown to other people, and it may not have always shown even to the both of you in your connection, meaning he was someone who you knew just from the way he touched you, the way he looked at you, the way that the two of you were together, how much he loved you. But he may not have always have just been like rambling off at the mouth, like, I love you, I love you, I love you. But also, the reason why this Toth card came out, I think the purpose of it was to show me that this was about his physical attributes. Because then, as I started looking at the other cards, I'm noticing that the images depicted here is of a person with dark complexion. So that was another confirmation that this was a person of dark complexion, dark eyes, and someone who was in their, I want to say, 56, had not making 60 yet. So in their mid to late 50s, but not making 60s by the time that they crossed over. So then I started asking, so tell me a little bit more about what happened. And again, very tight-lipped, but what I did confirm is that this person, it was quick and sudden. And it was like this sudden having to leave the love of his life and having to move on, having to go on. And it was just like, and this is what you see from the Eight of Wands, which talks about quick movement, and also the Knight of Swords, which is someone who, has quick movement, and it's just, with the swords cut quickly. And I asked, was it an accident? Was it just natural causes? And from what I can pull, because every single time I kept asking it, the answer was no. But from what I can gather, it was a quick passing, and it had to do with an illness. And so one moment, what I'm feeling is this person was strong. You all were planning a vacation. I'm also seeing planning a move. And then the next minute, this person they went to the doctor, were not feeling well. And from there, after they received the results, it just went quickly. And so that is what I am seeing that is happening, that happened here. But know that throughout that whole, even though it was quick, to him it felt like it was the longest moments of his life, because he knew that he was leaving his queen, and he knew that he was leaving the love of his life. And so for him, it was just the longest process, and it was heartbreaking to have to leave you. But there were some messages that he wanted to make sure. And I think while the purpose of this reading was to talk about how much he loves you. And I say that in the present tense because that love hasn't died. Not a day has stopped or gone by. And time, just so you know, is different from their side and our side. But the love has continued, and the love has gotten stronger. And there are things that Darryl would like me to express, things that you may have been feeling, things that you may have thought about, things that he wasn't able to tell you, or things that he tried to tell you, but now he has the opportunity to tell you. And the first message is that they choose you, or they chose you. Sorry. They chose you. And there's a message here too on the other side, but this is important because They chose you from on a contract level before they even came into this earth, that the two of you were going to be together because of your spirit, of your fire, of your passion, of the love, and of the things that you two, because of your love, helped create in this world. But they're also saying with this card that they will choose you every single time. So in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, and in the next lifetime, the two of you will be connected with creating that beautiful life, but also helping each other grow, helping each other expand, helping each other to realize the highest potential of yourselves, and giving each other that love. Because I think for the two of you, the love was the catalyst that helped fuel both of your passions to helping other people. The message behind is you might not readily believe this. It might even spook you a bit. But there are those who choose this very lifetime, in a large part knowing that you'd be there. Now, that's what we call a reputation. So, in every single lifetime that you are going to come in or incarnate in, they're going to come in with you. So you know that the two of you have the strong partnership, strong connection that's never going to be broken, whether it is you all are together physically or the two of you are apart. And it's a beautiful connection. And you can see that here too, from the Two of Cups, just the love that pours, that part of you, the energy from your soul, from your being that pours out, and it helps other people. And so know that they chose you, and they will choose you every single time. Sorry about that. My camera stopped. And just a reminder that sometimes happens when I do these mediumship readings. My camera will stop, or I'll have to take a break, or whatever reason energy happens. So to continue, I go where you go. So know that this energy, Darryl's energy, for whoever this resonates with, is wherever you are. So sometimes I know we can feel when we are separated in spirit and in physical energy from someone, that if we go somewhere or if we're here, they can't follow. Or because we don't see them, they're not here. And this is a confirmation to let you know that wherever you go, wherever you may be doing, they are just a thought away. I know for myself, there was a period of time I stayed in my apartment, and I knew it was time to start thinking about moving, but I didn't want to because I was afraid that Derek wouldn't follow me. And I had a similar message, which was, it doesn't matter where the house is. It doesn't matter if I move somewhere down the street to a new state. If I travel, no matter where I go, he was always there, because the connection and the energetic tie is with me. It's not with the place that and the materials that we shared. And so this is your message as well. So if you're thinking about moving, if you have been thinking about going away, although right now with the quarantining, you may be thinking of changing things up a bit, traveling somewhere new to just get away from wherever you are right now. If you have been thinking about that, but then scared, thinking that you're going to leave memories behind, or this person is not going to be with you, just know that they're with you. And it doesn't matter where you go, this person is going to follow you. And on the back of the card, it says, tell me, are you finding that occasional stranger has a crush on you? that for words you've almost mindlessly chosen, hearts broken too long begin to heal, that eyes sometimes well up with tears when it's time to say goodbye. Remarkable, our findings exactly. Psst, your divinity is showing. So I think that this one is a message of you having that everlasting connection and tie with that person, missing them, feeling heartbroken sometimes, and having moments in where tears are just the languages of love, to show that grief that shows that you have loved. And know that this person, just like how they choose you, or they chose you, this person still is crushing on you, still is with you wherever you go, still loving on you, still doting on you, is still giving you that same fiery creative energy that we saw here. It's just in a different way right now. And so they want to remind you of that. So sometimes if you may go, that example I gave about being in the market and me seeing them playfully, being around you with the produce and the melons and everything, know that they're still there. And they're still, you may sometimes feel a tug, you may hear something, you may smell something, and that's just confirmation that they are still there. And interestingly, this card came up too, which is signs from heaven. So thank you, heaven, for sending me reminders of your presence. And so this card confirms that I go where you go, because wherever you go, they are always with you, and they're always sending you signs, and what I call penny drops from heaven. For me, it was, I would get into the car and I would turn on the radio and the same exact song would play. It didn't matter what time it was. It didn't matter where I was. The same exact song would play until I got sick of that song. And then I said, you're going to have to pick a new song. And he did. But the same thing, it could be white feathers that you see on the ground. It could be a penny. It could be a scent that you may smell. It could be even a faint listening or hearing someone call your name. There are signs all around, and sometimes it's hard for us to see it because, one, we may be so deep in our grief and our emotions we don't see it. And two, sometimes our minds will tell us that's not real. So once you accept that, then you're now moving on into paranormal stuff, or you're moving on into a different realm. And we can't go there. And so that's not a sign from them. And sometimes we think that sign is for someone else and not for us. So it's really interesting how our brains work and how our brains accept or will deny certain signs that come to us. So just know that this is a confirmation that is saying there are signs that are all around you. And if you think for a moment, is that from my love? Then the answer will be 100% yes, it is. And the next card that came up that goes perfectly with this is ask for guidance. So your person, Darryl, is always around you. And not only is it Darryl, but it's also your angels, those from your family and friends who may have passed on as well. All of those people are with you. And sometimes, like here, if you feel like, I don't know if this sign is for me, just ask, is this sign for me? And many times, if you ask for a sign to be repeated, it will be repeated, just to confirm. And if you're like me, where I ask for a sign to be repeated 5 times, then probably the fourth time it's like, okay, check, we're done. So, but ask for guidance. Guidance is always there. For your person has so much that they want to tell you of what's going on the other side. So the first card here is I'm learning over here. So there may have been lessons that they were working on in the physical life that they are continuing now on the other side. So just because our physical body is no longer here, it doesn't mean once we cross over, that's it, and you're probably, like sitting in your dream home and just eating popcorn and enjoying all of the things in life that you have wanted to do in your physical life. Learning still takes place. There's a lot of learning that we have to pull on about ourselves on what happened in the lifetime here. So were there opportunities that we took? Were there people that came into our lives that we may have mistreated, or were there opportunities or instances where we mistreated ourselves and didn't, or let fear get in the way of letting us do certain life passions or things like that? Or in the case where you have the lovers here, what lessons could you learn and teach to other people about how to have that deep, committed, and solid bond? So all of those things that we've done in the physical life, when we cross over, they're brought over, and we still are learning. And all of these things that we're learning and that we're integrating into ourselves, if we decide to come back into this physical life again, these are all things that kind of go into this collective consciousness, and that we hold and we keep, so that when we come back, we can continue expanding, continue learning. The purpose and the point of it is to always expand, grow, and to reach a higher level, a higher version of ourselves. And so this energy, Darryl's energy, wants you to know that they are still learning on the other side, and that they have a new understanding. So if there were any beliefs that they held on to that may have been rigid thinking, or it may have been they didn't believe in religion, or maybe whatever the beliefs that they had, or whatever habits that they had that was here in this physical, they are now, as they're learning and understanding more about themselves, they have a new understanding. And it could have also been different beliefs that they may have had about you. For example, maybe you were really spiritual, and we can also see that through this card here, Seven of Wands. Someone who's very spiritual, very grounded, and they may not have been. And so while that wasn't an issue in your relationship, they're now understanding where that grounding comes from, where that spirituality comes from, where that strength comes from. And these are things that they then integrate into their own being. So it's easier to understand, and it's easier to tap into higher knowledge when you no longer have the material that is a focus. So when you're no longer needing to take care of those Maslow's needs, and the Maslow's needs are making sure that you're safe, making sure that you have a home, making sure you have a job, making sure that you're healthy. All of those needs is usually what directs us when we make decisions in life. But if you no longer have to worry about those needs because you're free of your body, you're free of having to have money, you're free of all of these material needs, then it becomes easier to then start thinking about other things in life, why people did the things that they did in life, why you were the way that you were. Is there a different understanding about who you are? So these are all the things that come up, and that is allowing them to have a new understanding. And they also want to let you know that tears cleanse the soul. So they see the pain and the grieving that you're doing. And if they had it any way, obviously they would be here with you. So you wouldn't have to. However, they also want you to know that emotions and letting those emotions come out allows you to release. And there is a tarot deck that I use that talks about gods and goddesses. It's actually from where this God of Wisdom card comes from. And there is a Sekhmet card, and it's the God of Rage or God of Anger. And we learn through that card that through your anger comes creativity, comes new ideas, comes movement and energy. And it's the same thing with these tears, because tears tell us that we love deeply and that love is still connected and that love is still a part of us. So allow those tears to come through and allow those emotions to come through. And again, it's usually in those moments when we can feel our person the closest. And so they're letting you know that they see the tears, and you may be a person that may not want to cry, because I sense from this card here that you're someone who is you're very strong too, just as the Darryl's energy is showing up to me as well. But just know that allow yourself to be vulnerable and allow yourself to let those emotions flow. The other cards that have come up with this is to honor your feelings. And this is from Archangel Haniel, which is thank you, Haniel, for supporting me as I honor my emotions. So how beautiful is that to have both of these cards come in together, to let yourself honor those emotions. And the other card that I pulled was the empathy card. You feel and understand the emotions of others in the service of love. And so I feel as you allow yourself to become vulnerable, to let yourself to connect with others, you will also help others in their journey. So whether you form a group for widows or you are able to talk to other men or women who are going through what you're going through, or maybe you've decided to write, just like the God Toth here. Those emotions, those tears, that empathy that's coming from you is allowing you to hold and take that love and that passion and the creativity and the fire that you and your partner had and still have, and to move it and to create it into something new that will help others. I have here the evolution card, which talks about you realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path of love. So any type of obstacles that you may be encountering right now, and I feel that they're not major obstacles, it's mostly obstacles in learning how to gain your footing, then this is just a lesson. And I saw on someone's Instagram this morning, which talked about understanding that obstacles are all temporary and they help us to grow and they help us to move forward. And this is the same thing. You are evolving into something new. You here in the physical and your partner on the other side, helping and guiding you. You are evolving into something new. Other two cards that I have here, well, I have 4 cards to go, but the forgiving and learning. So as you release and heal from the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I feel that this is an energy that is coming from both sides. So for their side, there is that forgiving and learning. So forgiving themselves for things that they may have done in the physical, that as they are going through their learnings and understanding themselves and understanding different actions that they took, they are now in this place where they can forgive themselves and they can learn and they can release that. And in releasing that, just as I said, when they decide to come back through, then those karmic lessons will not be as great as they were before. On your end, there may be things that were left unsaid, or may be pieces that you may be holding on to of guilt. And so this card is a reminder to just let yourself release it. And it's okay. We're all doing the best that we can in this lifetime, given the information that we have and given our experiences that we have. And so everything that we do and the decisions that we make, it's from the best point of view that we have at the time. And like the Maya Angelou quote, when you know better, you do better. And that's why it's always cleansing and great to allow yourself to just forgive and to release, because in this world, we do the best that we can. And as we come to ourselves and we do self-reflection, meditation, and just really grounding and understanding who we are as we move through our evolution, then we release and we realize what really matters at the heart of it all. And know that you have the 4 angels helping and guiding you through this connection. And so Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Gabriel, all connecting and guiding you and supporting you. And they will be supporting you too as you begin to see the connections of your relationship, as you begin to see the signs from heaven. Because they go where you go. And they will always choose you. So this person is going to be your guardian, what I call the gatekeeper. So just know that when, just as he was the protector in the physical, he will be the protector on the other side. And there's almost like a ethereal feeling here. So this protector, this bear, is in the physical, in the water, but here we have the world of spirit. So this bear is on both sides, protecting you and guiding you. And also 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So it's love. And knowing that love never dies. And the 1 shows the ending of a cycle, manifestation, and beginning anew. And so let this person guide you now, as they will become your protector, as they have always been your protector. And the last 2 cards that I have are just mantras for yourself, which is I claim abundance for myself right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. And I have abundance in all areas of my life. I always say that abundance could be money, but it is also just the blessings that we have in our lives. So the blessings of friends and family, the blessings of health, the blessings of having a home, the blessings of having people who are there to help us, new opportunities, new experiences, ways to grow. So in all areas of your life, when you allow yourself to see and feel the love that is all around you, and when you live out that love that your beautiful masculine is giving you, then you will allow yourself to then see all of the things of places to be grateful of and to have gratitude with. And the final mantra is, my body communicates with me and I am willing to listen and understand its messages. Wellness is the natural state of my body. For this card, I am feeling more so with the allow yourself to feel into your intuition. For you are already this beautiful, spiritual, strong being that is connected to your beautiful divine masculine. Connected here on this earth and also onto the other side into the energetic realm. But allow your body to now also, that physical part of you, to connect to the energetic part, to feel and listen out for the messages. For myself, my ear rings every time I'm getting a message from Derek. When I'm getting a message from my grandparents, I feel a tap on my shoulder. When I'm getting a message from a friend, I start feeling dizzy. So I have become attuned with who's talking to me, what they're trying to say, as well as when to listen to my intuition to know where to go, when to stop, and when to follow my gut. And it's been wonderful to be able to merge that physical part of me with the energetic spiritual part. And so this, for me, it feels like allow yourself to connect with your body, and also allow yourself to know when it is that you need space and when it is that you need time, and when you need to recollect yourself and rebalance yourself. Because you're going to know that many times for us, it's easy for us to move into states of distraction. So for me, it is, I work a lot. So I work, and then all of a sudden my body says, okay, we're going to give you a cold or something's going to happen so that you could just chill out and stop. And when that happens now, I 100% say, oh, I was going too quickly, wasn't I? And my body will usually be like, yes, you were doing the most. And after that, I would stop and let myself stay home, not overwork, and just let myself realign. So there is an ebb and flow and a balance that comes when we listen to our bodies. But this is the reading. I hope that whomever this message is for, that it finds its way to you. If you know of someone who you think that this message resonates, please share. Again, as I said, the name that I received was Darryl, but it could also be Darren. But I do know it's a D, and it's in the Darryl or Darren area. And I know that the P that comes up is either the first initial for you, or it's the last name. But I'm feeling it's the first initial for you. And as I mentioned before in the beginning of the video, I don't know if there are children involved, because this energy, as I said, really said, let's get to the messages that I have. And I keep hearing the name Buttercup. So let's get to the messages, Buttercup. And they just wanted to talk about you. So their focus is all about you. So it was like, we're not talking about children. We're not talking about friends. We're not talking about anyone else except for my person. And that's it. So anyway, please like and share if this message resonates in any way. And again, even if this D person is not your person to claim and you're just here listening to this message, know that there may be parts and pieces, because I always say spirit works in mysterious ways. And so there may be someone who's always trying to, right now I'm using the word sneak, but it's not really sneak, just kind of adding in their quick hi, shout out to you, while this message and reading is going on. So if there are images or there was a word that I said that sparked something and it resonated with you, take it and accept it. But other than that, if this message at all just gave you any type of peace about those who have crossed over from to the other side, and the love that we have and that we continue to have, and the relationships and how they evolve and advance into a new understanding and level, please comment if you have any comments or anything like that. But I hope that this has been helpful. So wishing you all a wonderful day, and maybe the next reading will be about something else, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm having a feeling that this may be the way for a little bit. So anyway, wishing you all a beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.